Am I still considered frugal if I spend $800 a month on groceries and eat out? So in this video, I'm going to talk about what being frugal means to me and why, yes, I do consider myself frugal, even though I do spend more than many people do on groceries and still eat out in restaurants. I have to give a huge shout out and thank you to Dawn over at Sensible Living with Money Mom. She's amazing and I just love her content all the time. It's an inspiration to me and I'm so glad for the community that she has curated. So if you haven't checked her out, chances are you probably already have, but if you haven't, head on over to her channel and check her out. So jumping into it, what is being frugal and what does that mean to me to be frugal? So the very first thing that being frugal means to me is that I make the very best use of the resources that I have. For me, my resources are both time and money. So I just had a baby 3 months ago and I lost my income. And as a result, I had to really rethink all of my resources altogether. Again, most importantly, time and money, but also the things that I already had, my location, and the ability that I had to maintain my day-to-day life with the resources I had available to me. And I really found myself doing little things to make those resources last longer. So again, what being frugal means to me is making the best of what I have. That old Depression era saying, use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. That's kind of what I think about as I go about my day-to-day living. So one example of something that I do that I consider actually being frugal is that I am very disciplined with myself and my daily habits. I live in a super small apartment when we're in the city, and then my mom's house also is not as compact as obviously as Manhattan, but I make the best that I can on my day-to-day, of my day-to-day chores. I really make an effort to keep things neat and tidy because to me, luxury is space. So if I have a clear space in front of me, I automatically feel better and I feel, it sounds crazy, but I feel more wealthy having a clear, empty space because I really feel that time is the ultimate luxury. And if you have free space or free time, that to me is more valuable than having a ton of money. That's not to say that it's not a wonderful thing to have some additional money, but to me, luxury is really having free time and free space. So as a result, part of my being frugal is being frugal with my time and my space. Some of the things that I have sort of changed over the years to be in line with this, I remember about 10 years now, I just decided that I wanted to be clean and neat and tidy. And I've always kind of been thrifty throughout my life, but I wasn't always a neat person. And for me, I consider being clean and being thrifty and being frugal all together in the same kind of package. So I decided 10 years ago that I did not want to live with excess clutter and I was going to be neat. So again, I was not born, I didn't come out of the womb being a neat child. It takes me a while to organize myself and I wasn't very disciplined as a child, putting away my things or organizing myself. Even in college, I was not the most organized person or clean or tidy or disciplined person at all. But I decided that I wanted to become that kind of a person. So I make a habit to do a couple things on the daily. I make a habit to tidy my space before I go to bed. That's number one, no matter what's happening. And with a little one, it can get a little bit hectic, but I just try to clean up as I go and to put things back where they belong. That's thing number two, is that I have a place for things to go. The old adage, the kindergarten adage, put things where they belong, or a place for everything and everything in its place. I think it's just helpful to have a dedicated home for your objects. And sometimes that can be confusing because an object can have a couple different homes, but I decide on one and I do it, which can be a little bit tricky going back and forth between 2, sometimes 3 different locations, but you just make it work. So those are the 2 things, number one, that I really do is trying to put things back where they belong and trying to always keep things neat and tidy. And it helps things last longer. For example, carpets. Doing things like vacuuming up at the end of the day or throughout the day really helps your carpet last longer. If you keep your kitchen floors clean and tidy, then they will last longer. If you keep your dishes clean, keeping the sink clean is another one. I really try not to let dishes sit. Actually, I can be a little bit not fanatical, but I can be a little bit just very thorough about not letting dishes sit. I don't actually keep dishes in the sink unless they need to soak. I will wash them off and put them away immediately, or put them in the dishwasher and unload the dishwasher immediately. So that's one way. Those are a couple ways that I know that I'm living a frugal lifestyle, even though I'm spending a bit more on some things than other people may in other parts of the country. So thing number 2 about being frugal is that I make a plan for the future. I know I've mentioned in the past that I love writing lists. That's one of my favorite things to do. That's how I think. That's how I organize my mind, is just to do kind of a brain dump and to also have a plan wherever I go. I think that part of being frugal is planning and making a plan for the future. Even if that plan ends up not happening whatsoever, coming even close to the plan, it's important for me at least to have a plan that I can refer to. I know there's a Jewish saying, we plan and God laughs, but I really feel like having a plan is a good way to kind of structure life. There's also a saying in the Bible that a man is foolish if he doesn't count the cost of building a tower. So I think it's really important to count the cost of things that I do in my day-to-day life and to make a plan for the future. For me, that includes putting what I can in savings and really prioritizing savings, which is an ongoing challenge, especially with day-to-day living, rising in costs every day. I mean, this is no news to anyone, but that's just one of the things that I try to do as well as I live a frugal lifestyle. So there you go. That's why I consider myself frugal, even though I probably have higher expenses than many people. That's what being frugal means to me. So again, I give a huge shout out and thank you to Dawn over at Sensible Living with Money Mom for this idea. I get so much inspiration for her channel again, so I really encourage you to check her out. So thank you so much for watching as always, and I hope that you'll keep watching. Bye.